We often warn you not to believe everything you see in the mainstream media, but just as often, it's hard to prove why. Today, though, I'm going to show you the perfect example. The video you're about to watch is of the Australian editor for one of the most visited English news sites in the world. What you're about to witness is the boss, the editor in charge of all the news, in an internal editorial meeting, directing his journalists, the people he controls, on how they must report vaccine-related news. It's incredible what he tells them behind closed doors when he thinks the public isn't watching. But don't take my word for it. Watch it and share it for yourself.
So thanks to everyone who's got it. You're all champions. That's really good. And we'll keep trying to run stories that call out the anti-vax weirdos and point out why we need to get it and why it's important, and why we don't want Australia regressing to some, but the reason why we have medicine and medical science is for things like this, and it's amazing and should be celebrated and not run down. And I know you will see a lot of comments on our stories from people who should know better. A lot of them are. I mean, we've been speaking in these conferences about anti-vaxxers and how it's extraordinary how many intelligent, otherwise well-educated people are spreading this disease really out there in the community. So it's just important we keep on top of it. Just remember with your stories to always, if we're doing something that is airing anti-vax views, make sure we're also dismissing them in the story. Is that the right way to put it? Dismissing them. Make sure your stories are rubbishing their ridiculous claims.
Make sure your stories are rubbishing their ridiculous claims. I don't care where you stand regarding vaccines. This should disturb you to the core. There is nothing we need more right now than accurate information about the vaccine and the virus itself, which we're clearly not getting from the mainstream media. They are the ones who have destroyed trust in the vaccine because, as you've just seen proof of a boss from one of the most powerful news platforms directing his team to dismiss claims no matter what, dismiss them before even hearing them. Their rule is to rubbish it even from educated people, which explains why so many doctors, scientists, and health experts have been silenced throughout this pandemic by powerful people with zero health qualifications. How does that possibly build trust for the media or the government? That is the definition of fake news, disinformation. It is political meddling. It's an insult to anyone who wants to make up their minds about the facts themselves. An editor's job, especially on something so critical, is to ensure that his staff reports factual news, not rubbish it, not inject their personal views or agendas, just to tell the news. Instructing not to tell the truth, I think that goes against all the fundamental principles of journalism. And it doesn't matter where you stand on this specific issue, because even if you agree with the editor's position on vaccination, imagine he had the opposite stance or it was an issue you disagree with him. Would you still be okay with the editor commanding his team to do that? You wouldn't. And I assure you, he's not the only one doing it. They all are, on all issues. This video just happened to find its way online. And you need to share it to educate your family and friends who don't realize what they're getting when they read a story or watch a report from the mainstream media.
Make sure your stories are rubbishing their ridiculous claims.
If you found that video as disturbing as I did, make sure to share it far and wide. Let people witness it for themselves. And if you've come across a video or a story that you think that we should cover, make sure to send them to tips@rebelnews.com. Finally, if you want to ensure that you can get the real stories from down under, make sure to sign up at yeminireport.com and I'll send them to you directly. yeminireport.com. Sign up now.